You better keep asking questions because it's the only thing that keeps us free. Thank you so much.
You better keep asking questions because it's the only thing that keeps us free. Now, if you talk to Mikey McCoy's pastor father, he'll tell you to shut up. Stop asking questions. What are you doing asking questions? Just accept what Kash Patel tells you. So Ian Carroll, he asked this, why is this clip going viral? And it's a clip of Charlie Kirk. And I guess it's getting a lot of play all of a sudden today.
Because Ian Carroll is anti-Semitic? Is that why, Jimmy?
Probably. Let's listen to what this clip is.
I'm going to continue to ask the question. A 20-hour response in a country the size of New Jersey. That begs a big explanation. And more importantly, America is significantly underwriting the Israeli government $4 billion a year. We as American taxpayers...
So what he's saying is a 20-hour response time on October 7th. That's what he's talking about. On a country the size of New Jersey. What's that, Kurt?
Just under a full day.
Yeah, just under a full day. So that's his question.
I'm going to continue to ask the question. A 20-hour response in a country the size of New Jersey. That begs a big explanation.
And so why does that beg a big explanation? Because that implicates Benjamin Netanyahu and the Israeli government being in on, as what we all said, they funded Hamas. They gave a stand-down order. They knew this attack was coming for over a year. As the New York Times revealed, they had the plans. So what they did was they kind of staged this so they could use this as almost like a false flag so they could then go wipe out Gaza and take over Gaza and the West Bank. So what he's saying is it took them 20 hours to respond, which means they were in on this, that this was a plan. This wasn't an accident that they didn't know Hamas was going to attack them. They knew it. They funded it. They gave a stand-down order and didn't respond for 20 hours.
Jimmy, did America have some deal with Israel of like a throw mama from the train situation, like you do 9/11 for us and we'll help you at your killing your own people?
Maybe. Here we go.
Importantly, America is significantly underwriting the Israeli government $4 billion a year. We as American taxpayers deserve answers to this. We deserve answers. Also, if we're going to get into a regional or world war based on an intel failure, we pay for this. What are we buying, right? I got smeared as a Jew hater, an anti-Semite, and conspiracy theorist because I said exactly what I just said. And I refuse to back down despite all the smears thrown at me because I learned during COVID. I learned when they told us that it came from a bat in the Himalayas. I learned when they told us the vaccine was safe and effective. I learned when they told us that ivermectin was horse paste, that you better keep asking questions because it's the only thing that keeps us free. Thank you so much.
You better keep asking questions because it's the only thing that keeps us free. Now, if you talk to Mikey McCoy's pastor father, he'll tell you to shut up. Stop asking questions. What are you doing asking questions? Just accept what Kash Patel tells you. Just accept what the government says. What's wrong with you? You're a bad person. The Lord wants you to shut up. The Lord wants you to shut up.
Yes, Lord.
He pissed off so many people in that one statement right there that they got to be taking bakery numbers to get up on the roof, if you know what I'm saying. Why would the deep state consider him a threat? Just because he threatened every single itemized thing that they're intending to do? Right? Here he is here. Jewish donors play into all the stereotypes. I cannot and will not be bullied like this, leaving me no choice but to leave the pro-Israel cause. He was dead days after he said that.
Let that be a warning to the rest of you.
And we all have friends that will lose one more narrative before they just sit in a straitjacket and rock. You know that, right? Mm-hmm. This, unfortunately, is that shattered narrative. Look at it this way. Remember when you were young and you always dreamt of being a rocker? Well, here you are. put on a straitjacket, start rocking. Remember when he said this? Remember when Charlie Kirk said this?
Lightly, okay? I gotta be careful the way I say this. They're gonna try to ethnically cleanse Gaza.
Yep.
I mean, I don't use that term lightly, okay?
Before Charlie Kirk was killed, he said Charlie Kirk fears that Israel will kill him if he continues ahead, providing space for Israel critics.
Charlie kind of starting to question the amount of influence that Israel has in U.S., not only domestic politics, but foreign politics as well.
I just don't think we should go to war with Iran. Is a nuclear weapon Iran a threat to America? Probably. Could be. It's a threat to Israel, but is it a threat to America? I mean, India has nuclear weapons. Pakistan has nuclear weapons.
But he was one of the only people to go to the Oval Office and say, sir, I totally understand, but a war with Iran could really hurt our country. He took massive abuse from his own donors. And they expressed it to him in a very intense way. I know because he showed me.
He's talking about October 7th possibly being an inside job.
I still have the same gut instinct that I did initially. I find this very hard to believe. I've been to that Gaza border.
He starts to question whether Jeffrey Epstein was an Israeli Mossad agent.
Epstein, with his little friend Ghislaine and Ghislaine's father, Robert Maxwell, who is obviously a spy of the Israeli intelligence agencies. The evidence that shows that Epstein was a creation of either Mossad, Israeli intelligence.
And it all blew out into the open at TPUSA's July Youth Summit.
Yeah.
Might have been Tallahassee.
Yeah, Tucker gave the speech.
Right.
Jeffrey Epstein was working on behalf of intel services. It's extremely obvious to anyone who watches that this guy had direct connections to a foreign government. Now, no one's allowed to say that that foreign government is Israel because we have been somehow cowed.
But it wasn't just Tucker. Megyn Kelly had started questioning Israel and
Mossad, given his connection to Ghislaine Maxwell.
Comic Dave Smith, who, like myself, is a Jewish anti-Zionist.
But there's no reason why we even have to be enemies with Iran. This is Israel's problem. We don't need to be involved in this. Sorry, we got our own issues here.
The crowd was cheering in this cathartic way. Then Tucker comes out, says, you should have your citizenship yanked if you fight for a foreign army.
How can somebody pledge allegiance to two countries at the same time?
Obviously, that's absurd. And I know you're speaking about Israel. Anybody, by the way, who serves in a foreign military should lose his citizenship immediately. There are a lot of Americans who've served in the IDF. They should lose their citizenship.
After that, he started getting publicly attacked. Ben Shapiro and Mark Levin, the two biggest Zionist enforcers in the media. Laura Loomer, we all know who she is. She publicly attacked Charlie Kirk and said he basically had to step down.
Honestly, the way you are treating me is so repulsive. I have text messages, Megan, calling me an anti-Semite. There's another article out in the Times of Israel today. I could read it on air. I was just reading before I got on. Charlie, what are you doing? Like, why are you... What am I doing? I'm sorry. Like, let's just take a step back here. Like, I'm an American citizen.
Wow, Megan forgot all about that conversation, didn't she?
Apparently she did. Apparently Megyn Kelly forgot all about that. She got her mind right. So here's one more video of Charlie Kirk talking about Israel.
When a lawmaker like Ted Cruz uses the Bible to justify aid to Israel, doesn't even know the verse, do you guys think that's like not the best way to approach this? Raise your hand. Okay.
I think Ted Cruz used Genesis 12:3. I think a lot of people see that as off-putting when you look at the New Testament.
Why?
Because I think a lot of people, they look especially at the writings of Paul where he talks about how the new flesh is not the same as the people in the old covenant. The new flesh is everybody, is everyone's included.
You're talking about Romans 9.
Yes, 9:6, yeah.
Are you Catholic?
Converting to Catholic from
Yeah,
Judaism.
I could tell.
This is my next
Oh,
line.
from Judaism?
Yes.
Oh, wow. So you're you're ethnically Jewish.
Ethnically Jewish, yes.
And you have concerns about AIPAC.
Yes, I do.
I'm told that by some people that if I criticize AIPAC, I'm anti-Semitic.
I think it's ridiculous. Yeah. I feel like it's great to have a concern for your country.
Do you think that that AIPAC represents a kind of cutting in line of prioritization away from the American people?
Yes.
Would you guys say that's a fair summary?
100%.
Meaning that, like, okay, we vote, we're citizens, but a separate group gets higher priority because of whatever reasons. You look like you want to chime in.
That the entirety of the idea of a PAC is to represent a group, but the fact that we're allowing a group that doesn't even represent American interests to influence the people who are supposed to be representing us, I have a huge problem with. And that's why I've said this before, and a lot of people don't like when I say it. I actually think there's probably like 20 representatives between Senate and House who I think are actually fully doing the work of the American people and don't have the interests of some group pulling their sway.
But when you hear that lots of other countries also are lobbying, do you think, I mean, that you probably don't know the names of those countries, but it's happening. Does that upset you equally, or is AIPAC just get all the press because it's so top of mind?
If those other ones are doing the same thing, of course. I do not think that other countries should be telling us how to spend, telling our representatives and people who are here to represent all of us that they should be focusing outside of the United States. America first. Thank you.
So I think we know why, Ian, why this clip is going viral. I think we know. And
I'm going to continue to ask the question. A 20-hour response in a country the size of New Jersey. That begs a big explanation. And more importantly, America is significantly underwriting the Israeli government $4 billion a year. We as American taxpayers deserve answers to this. We deserve answers. Also, if we're going to get into a regional or world war based on an intel failure. So, we pay for this. What are we buying? Right? I got smeared as a Jew hater, an anti-Semite, and conspiracy theorist because I said exactly what I just said. And I refuse to back down despite all the smears thrown at me because I learned during COVID. I learned when they told us that it came from a bat in the Himalayas. I learned when they told us the vaccine was safe and effective. I learned when they told us that ivermectin was horse paste, that you better keep asking questions because it's the only thing that keeps us free.
So don't stop asking questions about who actually killed Charlie Kirk, because the story we're being told is an obvious lie. And you really have to bend yourself into a pretzel to believe all the stupid lies that they've made up about this. I mean, not only from the gun that was used, the bullet that didn't go through his neck, from the way everybody acted shadily, his security people acted shady, to the fact that they took him to a hospital that wasn't the closest, to the fact that all those Google searches, to the fact that they say he assembled the gun, disassembled it, reassembled it, assembled it, jumped off a building, put it in his pants, all that stuff. He texted perfectly. He texted perfectly to his girlfriend what he just did. He admitted everything he did, and the FBI finally got that. So you have to really bend yourself in a pretzel to believe the FBI's narrative. It's not true. If there's one thing I'm sure of, it's that what the FBI said happened to Charlie Kirk is a lie. If there's one thing I'm sure of, that's it.
Can I bend myself into a Star of David?
How do you, George Zinn, immediately after the shot rings out, he drops his pants and said, I did it. So that's called being an accessory to a murder, because he was there to distract everybody from what actually happened. Anyway, that's a great clip. Everybody should enjoy that clip. And if you'd like to hear my jokes about Kash Patel's handling of the Charlie Kirk assassination, come see me the day after Thanksgiving. That's a Friday, November 28th in Burbank, California at Flappers Comedy Club, December 6th in Pottstown, Pennsylvania, and January 11th in Waikiki, Hawaii at the Blue Note. It's a beautiful theater. Come see me there. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets. Come see us in Australia. Second show's added in Melbourne, Sydney, and Brisbane. We'll see you in Burbank, California the day after Thanksgiving. It's a Friday. And then Pottstown, Pennsylvania, December 6th. Plus, January 11th, we're going to be in Waikiki at the Blue Note. Tickets not available yet for them, but go to jimmydore.com for a link for all the other tickets. Hey, check out this story we covered about Kenya's monumental defeat against Bill Gates. Click the video on the screen to watch.